Winchester, Kentucky is the site of a nationwide nonprofit work camp going on this week.
Yeah, new at 6, WKYT's Alexa Minton tells us more about how their main goal is to help out our neighbors no matter how far.
You might see some unfamiliar faces in Winchester this week as 317 campers are scattered around town helping out neighbors.
We'll do work on houses for people that are low income, elderly, ill, would not have any other way to get the work done.
Group Cares is a national nonprofit that sends mission trips to communities looking for support. And for Winchester local Shannon Cox, he said back in 2018 he thought his community was the perfect fit, and the camp's been coming back ever since.
A lady who they worked on her house in 2021 had stayed in contact with all the kids who worked on her house. She made her son take her to one of the kids' high school graduations in Illinois.
The students are in junior high and high school and have come from 14 different states, even from Canada. And while it's a work camp to them, it's about more than just the end product of their labor.
It's really nice to get to know them, help them out, hear their stories and stuff.
It's so impactful for them. They learn things from the residents they work with. They learn about what it's like to just serve people. They learn skills to, do jobs that they may have not had before.
Until Saturday, the campers will be at different houses around the community, pulling weeds, building ramps, painting decks, whatever the resident needs. And Shannon Cox says it's about teaching younger generations to love thy neighbor.
These people this week, whether they can't afford the job, whether they can't get somebody to do the job, whether they're unable to do the job themselves or just need the companionship. When they leave Saturday, Winchester is going to be a better town, and they're going to be better people for being here.
In Winchester, Alexa Minton, WKYT.
Well, maybe you're hoping to find a way to help support. Shannon says you can reach out to him. His email will be posted with this story on our website.